Austin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25.
Now a first down throw, Cunningham. Oh, he's going to air it out right away.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Brian Dawkins, the safety with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Sanders on first down with a little bit of space as he works his way forward. A gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Sanders, and he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. After the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. On play action, now Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Sanders. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Second down, and back they go to Sanders.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off, and not the ha-ha, that was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. They'll run. This is Holmes. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Out of the gun here, it's Cunningham.
They'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, Cunningham. Well, going for Jefferson downfield.
This is intercepted. Picked up by 9-time Pro Bowler Ed Reed. What a great start. You get the points on the first drive of the game. Now here you get an interception. Look to add to your lead.
And I just wonder about the strategy we saw coming right back at them. Yeah, they're down, but I felt like they were pressing it too much. They didn't need to play catch-up this early in the game, and it ended up costing them.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On play action, it's Rodgers. That is caught. It's Chad Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5 now. Rodgers. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
Cunningham looking to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Priest Holmes punching it in from a yard away. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point by Anderson, up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think...
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A former rushing champ, a 3-time All-Pro, it's Priest Holmes. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Here's Cunningham. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. And this a 39-yard attempt. Anderson's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And the Ravens are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. On the carry, it's Holmes. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Now Cunningham. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Brian Dawkins, the safety with a pick. And the Eagles are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by the former first
first-rounder Trey Waynes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
A final shot before break. Cunningham. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
63 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
8 yards to go on 2nd down.
And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 25. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And they'll try and pick it up with Allstott, the fullback.
Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on now the field goal team for Philadelphia. This one from 48 yards away. Tucker's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
Here's Cunningham from the gun. Being chased out left. Airing one out deep for Holmes here. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
A nice run there by Sanders on first down as he'll wind up with a gain of about 7 before he's brought down. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Eagles on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Holmes. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
56 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run with Holmes. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Cunningham. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing now is Rodgers. Just keeping the play alive. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Snatched by the safety Ed Reed. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Cunningham to throw. Buying time to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The coverage unit out there thinking pass on 3rd and 3. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
They'll probably spend a little extra time dissecting the game film after this one. I think the part of their plan was to hit them over the top with the deep ball. They've been unsuccessful all night.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Eagles have just about sewn up this football game. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team, because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. They'll run on first down. Staley. And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from Santa Clara. On first down, Sam